Weather instruments. In this lesson, you will identify the different weather instruments, explain how each weather instrument works, and use some weather instruments to measure and record the weather elements. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAG-ASA, is the government agency responsible for providing timely and accurate weather forecasts, warnings, and advisories in the Philippines. Its primary goal is to ensure public safety by monitoring and studying conditions in the atmosphere. In the previous lesson, you explored the elements that are important in weather forecasting. Meteorologists depend on them to collect information about weather conditions. A meteorologist is a scientist who is an expert in meteorology. This is the science that deals with the Earth's atmosphere, the processes of weather conditions, and weather forecasting, or determining the weather condition at some future time. Meteorologists use several instruments to assess and forecast weather conditions. What are these instruments? How do they work? You will find out the answers to these questions in this lesson. Weather instruments are tools used to measure and collect information about the conditions of the atmosphere. These instruments are important for observing and predicting weather patterns. Here are some basic weather instruments. Air thermometer. A thermometer is a device used to measure temperature. It is made up of a glass rod with a thin tube in it. The tube contains a liquid like alcohol or mercury. The liquid expands and moves up the tube when it is heated by the air surrounding the tube. The actual air temperature is then displayed on a Celsius or Fahrenheit scale. Anemometer. An anemometer is a device that measures the speed, strength, and direction of the wind. One type of anemometer has 3 or 4 cups connected to the pole's top. When the wind hits the cups, they start spinning. The anemometer is equipped with a speedometer that measures wind speed in kilometers per hour. Barometer. A barometer is a device that measures air pressure. It indicates whether the pressure is rising or falling. A rising barometer indicates fair weather, while a falling barometer indicates rainy weather. Common units of measurement include atmospheres, millibars, and inches or millimeters of mercury. Rain gauge. A rain gauge measures the amount of rainfall. It is an open container that is usually placed in an open area to collect rainwater. The depth of the collected rainwater is commonly expressed in millimeters or inches. Wind vane. A wind vane is a tool that shows from which direction the wind is blowing. It usually has an arrow or pointer that spins around on a fixed pole. The arrow points in the direction from which the wind is coming. So, if the arrow is pointing to the north, it means the wind is coming from the north. Hygrometer. A hygrometer measures how much moisture or humidity is in the air. It tells whether the air is dry or damp. It has a scale that shows the percentage of humidity. These weather instruments, often combined, help meteorologists and researchers gather enough or complete data for weather analysis, forecasting, and research. As weather instruments improve, studying the present weather conditions and making weather predictions will be more accurate. Here are the different weather elements included in the weather report from Pag-asa.
Dito naman sa natitirang bahagi ng Luzon kabilang ang Metro Manila, partly cloudy to cloudy skies in some areas of Metro Manila, Calabarzon, and Mindoro provinces. Kapansin-pansin sa malaking bahagi ng Luzon ang pagtaas ng temperatura. For Metro Manila, the air temperature is between 25 to 34 degrees Celsius. Umaakyat din ang temperatura sa may Baguio City between 17 to 27 degrees.
Makikita po natin na yung easterlies o yung hangin nagmumula sa karagatang Pasipiko ang siyang nakakaapekto ngayon sa ating bansa. Tuloy na nga humina itong amihan, bagamat inaasahan pa rin natin na next week posibleng magkaroon pa ng mga huling bugso ng northeast monsoon o amihan.
As of 4 in the morning ay huling namataan itong sentro ni Bagyong Christine, 390 kilometers po silangan ng Virac, Catanduanes. So patuloy pa rin ang paglapit nito sa ating kalupaan. Meron itong taglay na hangin na 65 kilometers per hour malapit dun sa kanyang sentro. So bagyang lumakas po ito from tropical depression, naging tropical storm na at may gustiness hanggang 80 kilometers per hour.
Kahapon na itala natin yung pinakamainit na heat index. Muli po kapag sinabi nating heat index, ito yung nararamdamang init ng ating katawan. Pinagsama ito na temperatura na name-measure o nasusukat ng mga thermometers, gayon din yung halumigmig o yung moisture ng hangin. Kapag pinagsama po natin yun, ito yung heat index o nararamdamang init ng ating katawan.
Sa kasalukuyan nga ay may namomonitor tayong low pressure area sa loob ng ating Philippine Area of Responsibility. Itong low pressure area na ito ay mababa ang tsansa na maging bagyo pero gayon pa man nagdadala ito ng maulap na papawirin at mga kalat-kalat na pag-ulan, pagkidlat at pagkulog sa Visayas, Caraga at Davao Region. Etong low pressure area nga din na ito ay nakita natin posibleng lumapit at dumaan sa Visayas, Mimaropa area by Friday until Sunday.
Ito naman po yung ating mararanasan ng mga pag-ulan sa susunod na 3 araw in terms of yung mga heavy na mga paulan, yung mga matitinding ulan po dulot ni Bagyong Christine. Asahan natin within the next 24 hours or ngayong araw, intense to torrential rains po. Please take note of this. Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Albay, Sorsogon, and Northern Samar, sila po yung mga karanas ng pinakamatitinding ulan. Higit 200 millimeters po yan.
Why is it important to study weather conditions? Number 1, to keep people safe. Weather forecasts help us prepare for storms, typhoons, and floods so we can stay safe and avoid danger. Number 2, to plan our day. We check the weather to know what to wear, if we need an umbrella, or if we can play outside. Number 3, to protect our health. Very hot or cold weather can make people sick. Knowing the weather helps us dress properly and stay hydrated. Number 4, to help farmers grow food. Farmers need to know the weather to plant crops at the right time and protect them from droughts or heavy rains. Number 5, to help fishermen avoid dangerous sea conditions. Fishermen need to know if the sea will be rough or if storms are coming before they sail. Number 6, to make traveling safer. Pilots, ship captains, and drivers check the weather to avoid strong winds, heavy rains, or storms that can cause accidents. Number 7, to study climate change. Scientists study the weather to understand how the Earth is changing and how we can take care of it. To sum it up, here are some of the weather instruments and their functions.